Hello everyone. I do suppose that my last video was, I believe, two Koch lessons ago. The reason why I haven't been recording them is, here's what the reason is. Um, so doing a single, like, 5 minute long CW session takes me 5 minutes. Be it on my phone with a Bluetooth keyboard connected to it, or, while working on my company's laptop. If I'm to record a video, I have to turn my private laptop on with a separate screen attached, usually because that's how I prefer it, and then sort of one 5 minute session turns into a quarter of an hour session. And so, when I stopped actually recording them, these I started doing like 4 or 5 CW practice session a day, and before it was like 3 because that was all I could cram in. Because like 4, recorded practice sessions, all added up together, were taking like 1 hour instead of 20 minutes, which is a huge difference. So yeah, I decided not to record every single of my practice sessions, just one every once in a while to give you an update of what was going on. And what was going on is that I 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, I had a pretty rough night. Couldn't really sleep, and I know why, because I had to commute in the middle of the night to another city where my employer wants me to go visit the office once a week. And so rough night at a bus, and then commuting to the different city, and then whole day at the office there. And I tried, in a break at the office, do a practice session there, and I was so underslept that, um, and I realized only then, for the first time, really, how much of an impact my current my energetic level, so to speak, has. So if I'm after a coffee, it goes much smoother. I mean, I make way fewer mistakes, and the same goes for how much I've slept. So that particular day, it was dismal, and I decided to give it a go and add one more letter to my repertoire, which was E. Um, so at the time, it was like after 1 week of doing lesson 3, so K, M, U, and R. And this one additional, like one dit long letter, right? Because E is just dit, right? One dit. Um, was enough to sort of make the whole, um, house of cards tumbling down. I couldn't hit almost any letter correctly. Um, and that's when I found the following post. I have it somewhere here. One sec, I'll find it. Mm, so I was looking for an answer to. Um, it was so frustrating. I just couldn't stand it. I mean, one additional dit, and I couldn't, hit any of the letters that I was basically close to 100% on. And I found the guy. I'll link the Reddit post in the comments. I mean, in the comments, but in the video description below. Um, the guy has written that he had a great success with LCWO, so the website that I'm using. But instead of going like with the speed I was using, which is, let me just check because I don't quite remember what the speed was. Um, oh, come on, go on. There we go. It was okay. So 20 words per minute character speed, and then 15 Farnsworth spacing, right? And he said that what he was doing, he was like doing 2 or 3 Farnsworth spacing in between the characters, and then the letters themselves at 22 to 28 words per minute speed, which is, you know, much different to what I was doing. But I decided I was so frustrated, and it was so unbearable that I thought to myself, let's just give it a try. I mean, maybe it'll work. Uh, and actually, it was like marvelous, honestly. I mean, like this one change has sort of alleviated all the frustration, and I managed to do, a couple more practice sessions that very day, which was, a huge success in itself with my state at the time. So that's what I was doing, from that point on for those 3 or 4 days, and it's been working really well. So right now I'm on, yeah, and I've sort of, I like initially what I said is that I'm gonna spend 1 week on every single character, but with this approach, like doing what I'm doing right now is character speed of 24 words per minute and a Farnsworth spacing of 10 instead of I was previously using 15. But say, as an example, today I had such a hard time with the introduction of the new letter S, right? Um, that I, keeping the character speed on 24 words per minute, but changing the Farnsworth spacing to 8 words per minute from the previous 10, right? And even further back from the previous 15, right? And this, doing this has allowed me to basically pass the, not only pass the practice session with 100% accuracy, but I've also managed to, one practice session after that, which was like, about half an hour after the first one, uh, increase the Farnsworth spacing to 10 and, continue from then on. And it actually works, I think, much better than forcing oneself to go with 15 Farnsworth spacing. And now, obviously, the question arises, because I've heard that before, that the whole Farnsworth thing is, not a way to go. That you should just try copying as at a fixed um, uh, words per minute speed. Um, be it characters or inter-character spaces. Excuse me. And just learn to copy that way. But what also plays a role in your potential success is how well are you able to cope with the frustration? Because it is frustrating, right? You're trying to get it. You're doing your best, right? You spending your time practicing every day, multiple times a day, and yet with the introduction of one new character, you realize that all that you thought you have achieved up until this point was, at least for this one practice session, for nothing. And this was precisely the reason why I gave up initially, because it was just too frustrating. I thought that, okay, I'm just deaf. I won't be able to learn it ever because it's just beyond my, you know, auditory capacity. And it's not. I mean, even if you're like completely tone deaf, I am, as I am, I bet you that if you sit on it long enough, you'll be able to learn it. And that's what I plan on believing in the coming months that I'm planning to spend with daily CW practice. And yeah, sorry, I won't be able to record my every session. Although I also it's a shame that I won't be able to record my every session because like it would be nice for you guys to be able to see this frustration that I had on that day at the office. It was just too much. I mean, I felt I felt terrible, and coffee wasn't helping, and there was really I couldn't like take a nap at the office, and with few hours of work behind me already and few hours of work still ahead of me, and trying to cram in this few short practice session during my break and failing. I mean, so bad. It was just, yeah, I mean, the word frustration, which I'm repeating for the 10th time, during this video probably, is the best one to really, depict what I was going through. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. So I've increased the character speed to 24 words per minute, and then the Farnsworth spacing to 10, like lowered it from 15. And I have been enjoying this immensely. And I also think that this little more time after each letter, that's given to me by the lowering of the Farnsworth spacing from 15 to 10 allows me to not really think about which letter I've just heard, because it's not about mnemonics or trying to remember the dits and das. You're just remembering the sound, right? The sound signature. Di da di, di da di, da di da. Sorry, di da di, da di da. You see, these two I've been confusing recently, and the characters that I'm confusing with one another really change over time as well, right? Before, K was sort of very easy, but now that R was introduced, and E and S on top of that, um, what I'm confusing right now is R and K. So I've done a few, uh, how do you call it? Oh yeah, so group mode, right? So custom study sessions with only R and K. It has helped a bit, and I do believe that over an extended period of time, it'll work and help even more. Sorry. So yeah. Mm, um, so yeah. So right now, oh yeah, and so I won't be sticking to this schedule that I have planned for myself of doing one letter a week. Uh, right now, in within a time frame of like 3 or 4 days, I've introduced two new letters, right? E and S, D, 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 D. Um, and I think that with this, different approach to it, I'll be able to, um, do it at a bit faster pace. I'll see how it goes. Uh, I'm not promising anything really, as I haven't been before either. But yeah, I believe that I'll be able to introduce new letters slightly more often than anticipated initially, and I also think that I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to hearing the sounds. It's been 3 weeks, right, to the day today of daily practice session multiple times a day in short, like 5-minute sessions, and it's been working wonders. I mean, I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with myself that like when I first tried in July, I just thought I was like tone deaf. I death. I won't be able to ever do it. And right now, after doing it consistently for over 3 weeks time, it is getting better. I mean, my brain apparently is getting used to hearing the dits and das, and yeah. So yeah, what I'll do right now is my I don't know which practice session because you see, I enjoy doing it really. I mean, it's nice. The immediate like feedback is also nice, right? As opposed to like head copying, which I attempted to do in July. Um, is right now that if I type all the and I also touch type, right, without find and peck, right? And the feedback that I get after every lesson, of where I've made the mistakes, what I've done right, and what percentage of the characters typed I got right. It's really nice and it's really rewarding, um, as in immediately rewarding, right? Um, and I enjoy it. So I do like sometimes more than three, and also the fact that I don't have to record every session, or at least I don't do it anymore, so I don't have to, allows me to do more. Uh, and although I've heard in the past that like 15 minutes per day is enough, and if you do more, it doesn't benefit you in any way. But I'm not sure about that. I mean, the more practice you do with anything really, uh, the faster you get better. Is it, be it like a foreign language, learning to play guitar, any other instrument for that matter. You know, um, so yeah. Well, unicycling, I unicycle as well, and it's not that like doing like half an hour a day is enough, and if you do more, then you don't get any perks from that. That's not true. The more you practice, the faster you get it. Um, so yeah, off we go with session X of today, and it's Koch lesson 5, right? 6 characters: K, M, U, R, E, and S. Keep your fingers crossed, because I'm confusing K and R like hell. It might not go well, right? Okay, let's check it. It didn't go that well as it's used to, like before, and I'm perfectly aware of the reason why, and the reason being is that I'm being recorded right now. It does add a bit to the stress. I know it's not like very stressful. And I enjoy doing those videos as well, but the fact that I'm being recorded and the you know possibility of someone someday watching this video, this one person that will do it at some point in the future, um, does add a bit to the stress. Um, and I can feel it, right? I can feel that if I'm doing it without any potential audience, I'm doing better. I'm getting better results. Okay, let's check it. Right, below 90%. Okay. Um, yeah, these two. Okay, yeah, yeah. I got completely lost at a few points. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna continue doing it. I enjoy it very much. Um, and yeah, I look forward to further videos and further future practice sessions. Thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, I see you next time. 73.